What's up, everyone? It's Softing back with another The First Descendant guide. This time we're talking about external components. This is going to be my external components complete guide. I've already got one on reactors, so check out that video if you need help with your reactors. But let's just get into what external components are. So external components are these four objects below your reactor on the right side of my screen here. They're made up of auxiliary power, a sensor, memory, and a processor. So there's a few things you need to know about them. First thing you need to know is what they do. So for starters, when you're first leveling up through the game, you're going to get a bunch of blue or purple versions of these, and they're going to look like this. They're going to have one primary stat at the top, and then they're going to have two other stats at the bottom. The primary stat at the top is always going to be protective. It's going to be for survivability. You're going to get max shield. You're going to get max HP, or you're going to get defense. So those are the options that you'll be using. Honestly, as you're leveling up through the game, before you're getting to the hard content and actually playing on hard mode, it really doesn't matter that much. Overall, I recommend not using max shield. In my experience, between max shield defense and max HP, shield tends to be the least helpful, as your shield breaks pretty quickly, and it's going to be more useful for you to have more health and defense instead of trying to rely on having a lot of shield. So I would recommend, as you're leveling up, just sticking with defense and health if you can, but it's really not that big of a deal if you want one of the attributes that's on the bottom. So as far as the attributes on the bottom go, you're going to get these random ones. A lot of them have to do with MP recovery, drop rate on modules, Cooper shard drop rates, down but not out duration, resistance. A lot of good ones that you'll use when leveling. You'll want to get ones like this that have defense and then give you some type of resistance. Resistance can be really good for fighting bosses, and same with max MP is really helpful. If you get one of these that has max shield in both places, you're obviously getting double, and then a bunch of toxin resistance, gold increase. This one has defense and max shield on it, so it really depends, but just pay attention to what those are, and as you're leveling up, that's the kind of stuff that you should be looking for. And it really doesn't matter until you get into later in the game. Once you get later in the game, you're going to want to get a set of external components. So sets for external components are not very similar. They're exactly the same as if you've played a game like Diablo or another game where a set of gear can be set items. So when you have more equipped, you get more abilities based on how many you have equipped. So external components in the First Descendant work the exact same way. So right now I'm using the Supernova set. You'll see Supernova is at the beginning of each and every external component that I have equipped. If you hover over them, you'll still have the same three stats as you would on any other external component at the top there. You can see I have max shield, MP recovery out of combat, module drop rate, increase modifier. But then below it, you see Supernova 4 out of 4. So each one of these effects kicks in when you have 2 Supernova pieces equipped or 4 Supernova pieces equipped. So the first one is electric skill power modifier plus 8.6%, and the second one is fusion skill power modifier plus 12%, and then you can read the rest of that if you want. So basically you get a whole bunch of more buffs based on having more of the set equipped. So what you're going to want to do is find a specific set of external components that's in the game that you can apply directly to your build, and use to buff either the type of skill, like I have electric skill power modifier on these. You want the type of skill you're using, you want the type of ability you're using, you want to buff what you're using, and it's going to make your build the best it can be. So I don't particularly use fusion skills that much, so I'm actually looking to get away from this set, but I just haven't been able to farm them yet. So I mostly use singular. If you need to look at those, you can click on the Descendant tab, and when you look at your skills, right next to the number 4 right there and speed of light, it says electric singular, so you would want to look for electric singular if you're using these abilities the most. I have 2 fusion abilities on Bunny, it is the Thrill Bomb and the Maximum Power, but I don't use them very much. You mostly use the Speed of Light and the Lightning Emission for AoE attacks, and those are singular, which is why I want to get away from the fusion skill buff that Supernova set brings. So with all of that said, hopefully you understand it. Now I will show you how to find the set that you want to use, what will be the best for you, and then how to farm it. So what you're going to want to do is from this screen or at any time, you can press either the map or J or whatever you want to open this. So just so you're seeing the social quest map, journal, and access info tab, and you're going to want to go to the access info tab. When you're on this tab, you can see that there's an external components spot. You can click on it, and from this screen you can look at all of the sets. They're going to appear at the top. You can sort by tier if you want to see the best ones at the top, or whatever you want to do. If you know the name of the one that you want, you can search it. So I use Supernova. So if I search Supernova, it'll show me all 4 pieces, and then you can see what they are. The best part about this is that you have this acquisition button at the bottom, which you can see when I hover over this. It says acquisition info F. It'll obviously be based on what button or key you're using for your controls, but it'll be in the same location to tell you. You press that. Well, I was still clicked onto the typing, but you press that and it will tell you how to get it. So this sensor comes from the hard intercept battle, the Executioner. And then if you are to click on this, it will take you right to it. So as to my knowledge, all of the sets in the game that you're going to try to be farming are going to come from a hard intercept battle. So you're really just looking to see which one it is. So like if I click on this one, it's the Obstructor. If I click on this one, it's the Frostwalker. If I click on this one, it is Molten Fortress. So you can see Dead Bride. So you can see the pattern here. So you pretty much need to farm these from the intercept battles. It doesn't really take long. I think to get the full Supernova set, I only had to kill the boss twice, and they all dropped, because you're guaranteed like 10-ish, I'm just guessing here, but you're guaranteed like 10-ish drops from the bosses. So when a few of them have a chance of being these external components, your chances are pretty good that you're going to get them. I think I got like 2 the first time, and then I got the other 2 the second time, and that was it. So once you figure out which ones you're going for, it's pretty easy to get them. You can also get sets like these ones that are purple instead of the ultimate versions. They usually have a less effective buff, or just something not as like big as like some of these up here. Like you can see that the text is really long because it does a whole bunch of different things right there, and these are more simple. It's just toxic, skill, power modifier, and fire resistance, which of course, if none of the ultimate ones really do it for you or your build, it's very simple for you to say, oh, then I just want more skill power and less skill cost, so why don't I just use the battle aesthetics sensor? Or, oh, I want defense, skill power modifier to electric, and or skill power modifier and then electric resistance. Or maybe you just need more defense or whatever. The point is, you can just come in here, you can look at all of these pieces, you can hit all. I'm on sensors, but you can look at every single one of these. You can find one that fits exactly what you want to do based on the weapon you're using, the skills you're using, the element type you're using, whatever. And you can pretty much just farm it any way you can, and then use it for your class. And your ultimate goal should pretty much be to get the set of 4. Unless the good buff that you want is a set of 2, then it could be beneficial to get 2, and then maybe even get 2 more from another one of these sets, or get 2 other ones that just have good stats on it that you want. You get the point. But yeah, the good thing about this game is that this whole screen exists, and you can come in here and just very quickly find exactly where you need to go to farm each and every one of these items. And then once you have them, it's going to really help your build. So yeah, so that's going to be it for my external components comprehensive guide. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please let me know, and consider subscribing to my channel. I want to continue making the First Descendant content. And let me know if there are any other comprehensive guides on anything in the game that you want to see, and I will do my best to learn everything about them and explain it to you as simply as possible. I hope you have a fantastic day, and peace out.